What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Scarfinger, and Scarcasm is back in the building. Woo-hoo.
Yes, it is. Hey, have you ever thought about, it's not gay to masturbate, is it? So would it be gay?
It's only gay if you masturbate someone else.
No. Is it gay if you go back in time a week and jack yourself off?
Well, is it gay or is it incest if you're jacking yourself off? That's a good question. You know what I mean? Like, because there's there's guys that I've heard of. I've never actually seen it, but there's guys who say that they can blow themselves. So the question is that gay for you to do it to yourself if you can?
Well, Marilyn Manson ate my girlfriend.
What the hell does that have to do with what we're talking about?
Wasn't the whole thing when Marilyn Manson took his ribs out or something, like an urban legend, so he can do his own? Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that before, but I've heard of that occurring. I just don't know. Like, is that gay if you can do it to yourself? Like, okay, now let me ask you this question:
before you say that, they always said, why does a dog lick his own penis? Is because he can.
Exactly. So now I'm asking you, if you could, would you do that to yourself?
I would say probably, but I don't know. When you think about it, you're like, there's pee-pee down there. That's where the pee comes from.
But see, here's the thing. Like, would you, if you could, and you could do it to yourself, and then you're apprehensive about it, then why wouldn't you be apprehensive to ask someone else to do that for you?
I don't know.
Does that mean that you don't care about the person who's doing that to you? You only care if it was you that had to do it.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, because I don't think about that, when it comes to the doing it to the female, but maybe that's the ultimate test of,
You're really having a hard time with this.
I mean, because when you really think about it, you're like, I really do not want to put my mouth on that, but then you don't really. You're like, yeah, I'll put my mouth on the vagina all day, but the whole reason where I was like, oh, that's where the pee comes from, but that's where the pee comes from in the other thing too, but I don't give a shit about that.
But the pee doesn't come from the clit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Kind of, but not necessarily. Okay, so this is a very vulgar intro to the show. I have watched some things, and I've played a couple of games, one of which I played with you.
That you did.
Yeah, man.
And it's been a long time coming.
Phrasing, like you I mean, based off of the conversation that we had, like I was like, I played with you, and then you said it's a long time coming, like we really got to work on our phrasing here. Really we have to work on our phrasing here, but yeah, man, so I've done a little bit. I had a job interview on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
And I walked in there like super confident, like I was gonna, it was for a storage job. So I'm just like, I got this, like I know storage, blah, 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 whatever. And like the person that I was interviewing with had no sense of humor at all. Like none. She and just like what I was saying just was not working at all. I was there a little bit over an hour, about an hour 15, hour 20. And we were just talking, and about a half an hour in, she put a hard stop in the interview, and she was dead ass serious, and she was just like, she was like, you're not actually answering my questions. You're just kind of talking and complaining about your other jobs. And I'm like, really? That's what you think I'm doing? But, so she was just like, I just want you to answer the questions, and I want you to be honest with me. And I was like, that's what I've been doing. It's just, it ain't my fault you ain't got a sense of humor. So then, like, the second half of the interview went a whole lot better than the first. But But then at the very end, she says, "You sound like you don't want to be in storage anymore." And then after the stoppage, I was just like totally fucking serious with her. I was just like, "Look, I've been screwed over by the same company twice. Now, it wasn't really their fault, but I've been screwed over by the same company twice, and I'm just worried that something like that will happen again." And then she was just like, no. We are too large for those little people to take over. She basically gave me the whole, we're too big for them their arms are too short to box with the God. And, and she was just like, "You're good. If you get this job, you good. That's nothing you got to worry about." I was like, "All right, then." And then she told me that she has some interviews to do tomorrow on Friday, because this is being recorded on Thursday. And she said, once she does her other interviews, she'll let me know early next week. I don't think I got it, to be honest. I don't think I got it. This has to be probably one of the most
you went in there. You went in there as Joe Biden, and she was Hillary Clinton.
Pretty much. I went in there and I was Donald Trump and she was the American public. Like, that's how that's how distant from each other that we were as far as our wavelengths of like what we were talking about, the conversation that we were having. We were just not together on. So it really kind of sucked. And I mean, at this point, I hope I get the job. But if I don't, it's not like I'm really going to be that disappointed, because I like we talked about, I really wasn't that interested in going back into storage. And to be honest, I'm still a little concerned about like storage issues coming up while I'm back in storage. I really kind of wanted to do something else, but the phone's just not ringing. So it all just kind of sucks, and I don't really want to be out of work for this long. Like, it's been over a month, and and my daughter's birthday is at the end of February, and now the money that I was getting from my previous job, I had a little bit stacked. I paid my rent a few months in advance, and now that money is starting to dwindle, and I'm looking around like I'm getting unemployment,
right?
But I had to go through a little bit with that, because trying to explain how those jobs, even though they have the same name, the companies have the same name, or the actual place of business has the same name, but having to explain to the lady that they are separate from each other was really difficult, because how the company is, like, I think I've said it before, the company that I work for there's a guy at the top, and then the actual different parts of the company are split up between 4 people, his children.
Right.
So basically when I started, I worked for one child. And then when I became a manager, I started working for one of the other children. Well, that child is the one who allowed the other people to come in and take over the management, because it was a tax break for him. So, like that type of thing. Like, it's a lot of like backroom politics type thing that was going on with my job. And that's the reason why all of this stuff happened. And because I still know people at the facility, and I know people who still work for that company, just not those locations. I know way too much, because everyone tells me stuff. So it's a little weird. And if I had the chance, I would go back there. I was starting to make my way there, and I thought that I was going to have a decent career there, and then it got cut short because it got cut short because of that. So yeah, but that interview was probably one of the worst interviews I've ever done, and it was only because I guess you could say that when you're having a conversation with someone and you realize that person doesn't believe that you're charming, You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the first time you meet your mother-in-law type thing.
Yeah.
Where you go in thinking that you're awesome and you're like, fuck yeah, I'm awesome, and your mother-in-law is like, fuck that. Like, I don't like him very much, sweetie. Like that type of thing. It was that kind of feeling.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, you know what? That's a show title. That kind of feeling. I did, however, put in all of the other show titles. I put it in the show notes. I put in the show notes all of the rejected titles. I thought that was fun, and I think I'm gonna keep that going.
Yeah, that was cool, man. That was a really fun podcast. We Fred's got the kind of thing like you to where, like, no matter what you're talking about, he can kind of just like get right up and on in there, you know.
Absolutely. And you know, I got some real positive feedback on the show from a couple of people that always send me feedback. You know, like I got some real positive feedback on doing a show with Fred. You know, I was wondering, here's what I was wondering.
What's up?
I always thought that doing this show based off of our own merits and like what we do and all of that kind of stuff meant more to people than having a bunch of guests on. But apparently people really feel the guests. And that, well, I would say that's a testament to you, because most of the guests, for the most part, have been your idea.
Well, I mean, I've been kind of choosy on the guests, you know, the ones that were, for one, ones that I know that haven't done anything in a little bit, and ones that I know that we've played with. Well, like Corey, like I've actually met him in person, and that was like super cool. And he was like a really good addition to GIB. And then Fred, and then you know, I've actually podcasted with him before because I guessed on his show, and the 2 times I was on Future Monkeys was with him, because they did like kind of a B-side type thing. Not B-side, that's another thing, but they would have like a community show, and there was one where we talked about, I don't remember what we talked about. There was some sort of spoiler cast. I don't remember what it was about, because the Firewatch one, that was with GIB, that was with Court. So I don't even remember what me and Fred, it was something.
Okay. So I was thinking, and we can talk about this on the show. I know that we talked about wanting to further this thing and wanted to do different things with the show and kind of expand a bit. I was thinking more along the lines to what Scott and I were doing, where we alternated back and forth. One show would be Scarcasm, where we would just talk about what we've been watching, listening to, that type of stuff. And then we would do the Nepo show, which was all gaming all the time. And then I had the idea, well, I was kind of stealing an idea from someone else, where they have a Patreon, right?
Yeah.
And once a month, and I know Rashani does like a Q&A, where he does a monthly live show where the Patreon people can ask questions and such, and you know, the Patreon people get first preference as far as getting their things answered. But this other show, Gaming Uncensored, which was kind of where I started with this whole recording thing, they do a monthly roundtable where they invite people from the Patreon to just be on the show, and they all just kind of go around and talk about what they've been playing, and then they usually have a question or two, and they just kind of go around getting everybody's feel for things.
Yeah, and I wouldn't think too bad about, like, if you do see, like, I wouldn't like completely take someone's segment, like say, you know, like all of a sudden at the very end of the show we say, well, next time, you know, Scar might say, and then you know, and then because I just heard about like AA saying
Yes.
like people were like taking his segments, but anyway, but like having like an inspiration, be like I I was inspired by you guys to like better our show because of you guys, and we actually did like if we did a live show, actually had video of our video game that we're playing, in the background. Not to say we're taking that from OMG Hour or whatever. It's that we were like that works for them. Maybe it could work for us.
No, it's not like those things are exclusive to those podcasts. It's just
right.
It's just I don't listen to a whole lot of gaming podcasts. I try to limit myself with listening to gaming podcasts, because then I will like think, oh, that's a cool idea, I should do that, and that's why I stopped listening to a lot of gaming podcasts. And
I don't want us to do is for us to get into the rut of there'll be three because I'm pretty loyal to the podcast, where even if I'm not really feeling it, I still listen to it because they need the listeners and the downloads. But like it'll be 3 or 4 podcasts in a row that have talked about the Nintendo cardboard. I'm like, okay, we get it.
Right.
But
that's why I kind of dig. That's why I kind of dig what we do, because we talk about the things that we're doing and we talk about the things that we're into. We don't just regurgitate the news of the day type shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that shit got boring to me. That shit got like super boring to me, and that's why I enjoy shows. The other 2 shows that I do, the Dream Team and Facetious. I think I need to put a Dream Team show on the feed so that people can get a feel for what the Dream Team is, because like I told Blue, between the 3 shows that I do, there's not a lot of cross pollination. Like there's people who listen to each show. Basically, there's some people who listen to Scarcasm and Facetious, but there's not a lot of people who listen to both. Mostly because I'm vulgar as fuck on this show, and I keep it a little bit cleaner on that one.
And I don't help. I don't help.
Yeah, especially you don't help when you're drinking. But like, and then the Dream Team is something completely different. Like it very rarely veers into video games at all. Like it's just the 3 of us just riffing off of each other, and sometimes we get serious and talk about some serious issues, because Rashani is super social justice activist, whatever you want to call him, and like the other 2 of us are kind of not. Oh, he put the shit on hold again. What do you get? Stop pressing your face to the phone.
Voicemail come up again. What? Why
are you not, I thought you were using headphones.
Not right this second, no.
Okay, fine. So like the way that the Dream Team works is completely different. And you know what? I want to give people a taste of the Dream Team. So I'm gonna put an episode of the Dream Team on the feed, just so people can get a feel for what that show is, and just try to broaden what all of the things that I'm a part of, because those things, they're so separate from each other. But there are things that I would like to do with the show. Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you, there is a guest I want to get, and I don't know how I'm gonna pull this off, because the anniversary of the show is next Saturday.
Okay.
I want to do a show, or at least do a segment with my Pooh Bear.
Cool.
I want to do that. So because she, she's always in trouble these days, but she does like she does Twitch with on her stepdad's feed. She does Twitch on the weekends sometimes, and she plays a lot of The Sims. Like The Sims is her jam. And because part of which is because like she is of this podcasting shit. Like her parents were podcasters, and even when she was tiny, like we would she would be around watching us do our thing. Her mom was podcasting with her stepdad, and so like podcasting is all around her. And doing live streams is something that she's kind of into. She digs that.
Yeah.
So, but this is something that I believe is in her blood, and I kind of want to do a show with my Pooh Bear, but I don't know how I'm going to pull that off. So I don't know. I may just try to figure out a time for her and I to talk. And if it goes well, then I can try to figure out a time maybe on a Sunday early where the three of us can sit down and just have a chat about stuff, because like I said, the stuff that she's into is stuff that I don't care about at all, but she's super passionate about this and she really cares. Like her three mains are The Sims, Roblox, and Minecraft. Like, she really digs those, and those are things that I just don't understand as a grizzled fucking adult. Like, I don't understand those things at all. And maybe if she gets really good at this on some level, her and her mom could do their own podcast, and she appeals to a different section of gaming that someone like me just completely doesn't understand.
Right.
And, if I can get her to be able to, communicate what she feels about those things, then that might be a cool thing for me to get started for her to do. It is, I just think about things and where we want to take this. I do really still want to do the Patreon. I don't know how well the Patreon is going to do, but I really would like to do it.
Yeah, because even if we started out with like a little, if we started getting humble bundles, even stuff we have, and we have a bunch of Steam keys and stuff, because not to say that everyone's greedy or anything, but sometimes it does get people in the door to say, well, check out this podcast because we're actually doing, having a question of the week or whatever, and there's a giveaway for, I don't know.
I did buy, I bought the Rockstar bundle, and it has all of the Grand Theft Auto games up to, from 3 up through 4. It has Bully, it has LA Noire, Max Payne, the different Max Paynes all the way up to Max Payne 3. It even has Manhunt in the bundle, and I'm like, I never really cared about wanting to play Manhunt, but I have it. Like, maybe
I heard that game was super brutal back in the day. Like,
but like, by what standard? Like, it was probably super brutal then. Like, is it super brutal now?
But sometimes, like, it is, like, in a weird, like, because I remember playing, I think I popped in, like, the original Doom, and because it was, like, so 8-bit and so, like, retro looking to where it looked like a kid's game, it felt more violent than, like, the new Doom does.
Really?
I don't know. I
think, but like, you look back at stuff like, the stuff that had been like banned in places, like, like all of the stuff with like Carmageddon and fucking Thrill Kill, because Thrill Kill was supposed to come out and it was supposed to be like really fucking hardcore. Like, you look at Thrill Kill, like you look at videos of people who actually got to play Thrill Kill, you're just like, fucking really? And then like Thrill Kill, I think Thrill Kill got actually hit with an AO rating, and so they couldn't sell it anywhere. So they couldn't sell it anywhere. So what they ended up doing was changing it to the Wu-Tang Gang. They added Wu-Tang characters, toned down the violence, and then they made the Wu-Tang Gang.
Oh.
Yes, it says this game is notable. I'm looking on Wikipedia. It was the first video game to get an AO rating. It was the very first game to get an AO rating.
That's crazy.
Yeah, San Andreas got one, but it was because of Hot Coffee, which it shouldn't have never got. And apparently,
that's weird.
Apparently, Manhunt 2 did too. But yeah, because of Hot Coffee, they gave it to San Andreas. So then, San Andreas had to be re-released, and I actually have a re-release San Andreas for the Xbox. I still have mine, which is fucking dope. Like, I fucking dig that shit. Like, I have it. There was something on the box, like, you can see it's like, it says something like second edition or something like that on it, and those were the ones where they took out the Hot Coffee stuff, because I mean, you couldn't access it anyway unless you were on PC or you had some way to hack your console. But yeah, All right, so you got any life stuff? Like we've been talking pretty much. We've been talking for like a half an hour already. Well, longer than that. But I'm sticking all that
Well,
vaping. I'm sticking all that vaping stuff after the music.
cool. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. I know we're going to end up because we were thinking about getting into this house, and it was going to be a good idea. And my parents were actually thinking about, since we don't have the money to do anything like put 20,000 down on a house or anything like that, and the
Mhm.
rent's so freaking high around here to where you cannot find a place under $800 a month. You know what I mean? And so I mean, there's a trailer in Smithfield that's $1,000 a month. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Wow.
But the so we were thinking about doing that, and then it wasn't going to be ready by the time that we had to get out of this place because they was like, "Oh, you can be there for like 90 days," and then 90 days turned into 3 weeks, like in the matter of a week. I was like, "Well, that is not the definition of 90 days." So in 3 weeks, they're going to tear this house down. So
Damn. And right now you don't have a place to go.
right.
Shit.
So but we could go in that house, but I'm not sure if I really want to rent from my uncle anymore because it's just, I mean, it's just like we're just like giving him money. You know what I mean? He's not like a real landlord to where he's gonna, oh, there's a contract. If our water heater goes down, he's gonna fix it. No, it's just like we're giving him money because we're in the house. Which
And because your family, if you say I would like for us to sign a contract, then that may offend him because he's family. You know what I mean? Like it's that type of shit.
yeah. So yeah, it's weird, and we have a bunch of. I mean, I have it neat, in like some black trash bags. We have the trash piled up in the back because I mean we don't have no trash pickup because, dude, like this county is so messed up when it comes to trash. Like it's like $60. No, it's $100 a year to take your trash to a dump. Like just to take it. Like not even picked up or anything. It's like 100.
No, do you mean like it's $100 for you to put it in your whip and drive it down to the dump?
Yes.
Wow.
Because you have to have a sticker on your car to like put your trash out there. And then so for them to pick it up, it's like that much for like half the time, like 6 months. So I'm not doing that. My mom has a sticker, or my dad has a sticker. So every now and again, I'll get his truck and I'll take his trash too. So I'm not gonna have like trash everywhere. It's in like nice black trash bags, But and they tore down the barn. I did have it out there, and I had it in like I kind of made like a makeshift pallet kind of bin, and that got messed up because they took the fence down and the tree fell on that. So I'm like,
can't win.
Like, yeah, and so he was like, "What's all that trash doing out there?" Well, I was like, "Anybody can take off trash." I was like, "Well, the main reason I've heard is there's so many landlords out here, and the landlords don't want trash to come out of their taxes for all the houses they own."
So they just put it off on you.
Yeah. And they wonder why people litter and stuff around here. Like you go to the town, both bordering counties. Like if you live in the area, you can take your trash off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and plus I don't have a truck, so I mean that's one thing.
Yeah, because you don't want, like if I've been in a situation where especially here because the dumpster is like not really in walking distance from the apartment. So like you just got to let the trash build up a little bit, throw it all in your trunk, and then just drive it down with the trunk open. Because if you close it in the trunk, then your trunk is going to smell fucking disgusting.
Right.
And they might even make your car smell bad. I had one time, I used to have a van. Like my dad gave me his van a long time ago. And one time I had to help my ex with some, her car ran out of gas.
Mm-hmm.
But like I got a van and it's all fucking open. So like I went and got the damn gas. And then for like a few fucking weeks after that, like my van just smelled like fucking gas. So even though when it was like freezing fucking cold outside, I gotta open the damn window because my car smells like fucking gas.
Right.
Yeah, those are rough times, bro. All right, so you want to
Yeah.
get into so where you want to go first?
Yeah, yeah, that's one of the reasons I brought up that whole like nasty conversation earlier. Is just I just wanted to bullshit for a little bit because I pretty much just heard about that before we started the podcast. So yeah,
Okay.
the but yeah, we can get into some games because I've been doing some different things that I haven't been doing
Okay.
on which I've been playing a game called what is it called? Like Night in the Woods. And it's an interesting little game. It's like I guess it's like a character type game, you know what I mean? But it's like
Mhm.
2D and the characters are really well written. They're like little animals, but like instead of like but they're like super freaking realistically like broken. Like the main character, she's her name is May. She's like this little cat, and she come home from college because she dropped out, and she just wasn't feeling college or whatnot, and there's some reason that she left town, and like it's you can think of it like Mayberry, you know what I mean? Everybody knows each other, so people are like smiling and stuff, but then you hear that in the background they're like they kind of this like all fake, you know what I mean?
Right.
And like one of her friends is like really excited, and then the other friend is like totally like fuck you or whatnot, and it's really charming and really realistic in the dialogue and stuff, and I'm really digging it.
So what kind of game is it? Is it all like you know personal relationships, or is there an actual game there somewhere?
I think there's a little bit of platforming and stuff because it is side scrolling, and because she goes sometimes she has these dreams and stuff, and it's really psychedelic, like really weird, and it has like a little bit of rock band too because her little friends are like in a band, and 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 it's part of the story. It's really hard. Like the rhythm parts are really hard, and you're like messing up all the time. But the whole thing is
Kind of like
that
that one part of God of War 3 that's like, oh my god, why do I have to do this?
but, you don't fail. It's just like it's part of the story that she's not very good at bass. you know. So yeah. And
She's an animal, but she's not black.
well, she's a black cat.
Then she should know how to play the bass,
Oh,
according to Cartman.
oh yeah. The but but yeah, her friend is. They have a little chat or whatnot, and then her computer had a lot of pop ups on it, and the friend was like, "I saw that porn, right?" She was like, and then there's little text options, and one of the text options like, "You know it," and then they had a little conversation about porn, and it was like really, really hilarious, and like a really realistic way that like we would bullshit together. You know what I mean? So I've only put like a couple hours into it, and it's been pretty cool. It's not a gamey game like game type game, but it's something to kind of I don't know, palate cleanser. And the music's really good too, but it's more I don't know, it's kind of depressing in a way, in a kind of a like our lives are going nowhere type feel, you know. But the other thing I've been playing is I was playing Gears of War Ultimate Edition. I've played the original Gears of War before, and completely in co-op with Amber, and we don't have another controller, so I stopped at Ram because he is a cheap bastard, and I'd rather have a buddy to enjoy that with, or have him tortured. But me and you started up Gears 2 because I've never actually finished Gears 2 or 3, so that's been cool.
Before did you finish 4?
I haven't started 4 because I haven't done the other two, and I'm a very much of a I'm not going to play a game without playing the original, and unless I know that I don't really have to, like you don't have to play all the Final Fantasies to play Final Fantasy 15. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Because they're like, or like Assassin's Creed, you don't have to play all of them to get that because they're like individual little slices of story. but something like Gears is like the same characters, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that like go through and
Except
I'd rather.
four is not necessarily
Well, yes, the kids, but still, like
in judgment. Well, first of all, do not play Judgment without other people. Do not play Judgment by yourself.
I would say don't play Gears at all without other people. Like that game, even if you can get through it, it's much more. It's built for playing with other people. Like I mean, it's like designed that way. So
I played through the first three alone. I could not play Judgment at all until it was available on the one because my disc got scratched.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't play that at all because my disc was scratched. And then I started 4 because Pimp bought it and we game share. But I did not. I just didn't care. I guess you could say. Because right. I don't really like JD. I don't like JD at all. But here's the thing. Since we started playing 2, it made me really want to play some more Gears. So right before the show, because we were delayed an hour, I picked 4 back up and started playing it again. I'm still not really enjoying it, but I'm playing it. I'm still not really enjoying it. I need to figure out which level I'm playing on. Like, am I playing on casual? Because at this point, I just kind of want to get through it.
Right.
But yeah, I did play for about an hour, and that's what I was playing when you let me know that you were ready to do the show. So I started playing Gears 4 for a little bit, but I really want to play 3, but I know that eventually we're going to play 3, so I kind of walked away from that.
Right. Yeah, the other thing that I've been playing is which is really funny, and this is no slant against Xbox at all. But I think the Xbox One is the absolute best place to play 360 games. And that's mostly what I've been playing. And I've been enjoying the hell out of it. Like, because I know if I got an Xbox 360, it's going to be slow as fuck. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so the Xbox One is a lot more quicker. I can play, all the digital ones that I have are going to play fine. If I find it at GameStop for less than $20, that's a game that I can enjoy. So I've been playing Fallout 3, and I've really been enjoying that. Like,
never got into Fallout.
Yeah, I didn't get into Vegas or Fallout 4, but Fallout 3, I got really hardcore into it in the year of 2009 because I looked on my achievement list, and all the achievements are in 2009. So that's when I got the game, and I just played it throughout that whole year. And I think that's the best one. I don't know. Like, a lot of people really like Vegas, and a lot of people like 4, but 4 to me, it had too much of a, here's a settlement, this is your people. When in 3, there was areas that you could, like, go to bed at, you know what I mean? But you were more of a lone wanderer, you know what I mean? You weren't really part of anything, so it felt more free a little bit. When in 4, it felt like you need to be protecting these people, or you need to be, like, building shit, you know what I mean? It was just too much of that kind of stuff, and not a much, I don't know, maybe I just didn't put enough hours into it, but I just started it up just to, like, play it. Like, I wasn't really, because I've already got, like, 80% of the achievements in it or whatnot, so, like, any sort of that kind of thing is, like, whatever.
I still find it adorable that you give a shit about achievements and fucking and trophies at this point.
Well, I'm just saying, like, even if I did, like I'm just playing it to play it, you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know.
But you're like the only person on earth that still mentions trophies and shit. Like, I'm like, no one talks about this shit anymore.
Well, I mean, still, it's just whatever, I'm a guy that just, I'm not really that negative about a lot of shit unless, I don't know.
No, it's not negative. It's just we just don't discuss it anymore. But you still care about it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing. I'm just saying that you're like the only person that I know that still care.
Maybe. I don't know. It does look pretty cool when I look at my Fallout 3 and it's like 1280 or whatever. You know what I mean? But that does hold a little bit more weight than seeing the little 80% or whatever,
Right.
seeing that big old number. But but yeah, I've been really digging Fallout 3. That's been really cool. And I popped in black for like a second. I played the first mission, and that surprisingly kind of holds up. It doesn't look terrible, and it does play a little dated, but I kind of had to remind myself that X is not reload, but I was.
Yeah, that's the downfall of playing old games, old shooters, before the standards were. Because that's when we talked about with the homie Rojas, we were talking about playing Battlefield 2, Bad Company 2. Like that is exactly what we're talking about. Like the buttons that we think should do the thing that we needed to do is not the button in that game because it was before the standard was official.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the problem that I'm having with one of the games that I've been playing. But I'll let you finish before I go in.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. I'm kind of been in the Gears mood. It's been really cool to play Ultimate, and Ultimate Edition looks really good. Like, and so I'm kind of excited to play Gears for the eye candy. But and after we're done with the Gear stuff, I'd really like to go through the Halo stuff too. Because it's the next
Halo. I'm all in for.
Cool.
Whenever you want to play some Halo, you call your boy.
Nice, because I mean, we'll do it on casual or whatever, but I remember doing Halo 3.
No, Halo. No. Fuck that. Halo, we play heroic. If we're playing together, we play heroic. Fuck that. And at the very least, we play on normal. If he dies, he dies. Like that's pretty much how it is. We do not play Halo on easy.
All right, cool. Because I remember playing. I think we
don't
play 2
Halo.
and 3 on Legendary.
We don't play Halo. We don't play Gears, and we do not play Mass Effect the first time on easy. Those are my 3 exceptions.
I play Mass Effect on easy because I love the story, and I don't want Mass Effect to make me frustrated.
I always play the first time on normal. Always. I gotta maintain my street cred, dog. Like I know you don't have to worry about your street cred, but that's my street cred, dog.
Where'd the Nepo thing going? You're like, I was into this Nepo crew, and then all of a sudden you're like, actually,
no. Those are the only 3. Those are the only 3 exceptions. One, for Halo and Gears, they're so slow. You really don't need to be playing on easy. Like it's not necessary. Now, Call of Duty, if you're playing the single player, it doesn't fucking matter which level you're playing on. It just really doesn't because like most people don't care about the single players, and like really you just want. For me, I just want to follow where I think the story may go, or just trying to figure out what's actually happening here. So I don't care. And like most games, I really just want to know the story. But those games, like I can't play those on easy, especially not the first time. Halo, I used to be super good at Halo, like super good at Halo. Before I was the Scarfinger, my name was the Surgeon because I was so accurate in Halo. Like that, when we used to play like LAN parties at the house, like I was the Surgeon. Like that's how good I was at playing Halo. But
you getting pistol headshots with the pistol no scopes and shit.
Okay, so the pistol thing came in after the fact. Like, for the most part, when you first start playing Halo 1, you don't realize that the pistol is what it is until you're looking online and someone says, you do really realize that the pistol is kind of overpowered, right? And you go like, really? It's the pistol is overpowered? And then you go back and start playing with your friends and they're all rushing for like the power weapons and you're just running through everybody with the pistol. And they're like, how did you do that? It's like, the pistol is overpowered. Word. And then now everybody is using pistols. So so I had to come up with like game variants in order to make everybody not use the pistols. Like I had to like change the base game to where everybody started with assault rifles instead of pistols, so that if you find a pistol, good for you. But but you started with an assault rifle to make this more fun, because with everybody just running around with pistols, it wasn't necessarily the most fun.
Right. But but yeah, I get that. Like I used to play like most shooters and stuff on like the harder difficulties, but like when it comes to like big RPGs and stuff that I really cared about the story and wanted to relax, like Mass Effect, Fable, Fallout, Skyrim, things like that,
Can you
I
change the
would play on.
difficulty in Fable? I don't think Fable has a difficulty. You just die, and the more that you die, you keep those scars, those blue scars.
I don't know.
I don't think Fable
Well,
has a difficulty.
it might not, but I just used it as an example of an RPG that I really dig. Well, not three, but two. Two is like,
3 was good until the twist.
well, yeah. I mean, but
And
still, that's like
I got suckered into the twist because I was like, okay, I'm gonna go do this. I was trying to clear my quest before I hit the end game, and I didn't get that message because like when you're playing Fable 2, when you get to the part where everything is gonna change and you're gonna be gone for a long time, they let you know like, hey, you may not be back for a while. Make sure you do everything that you wanted to do before now. But Fable 3 didn't have that. So I was just like, okay, I need to finish these missions. Well, I'll go ahead and do this main mission first, and then you end up with the thing with the fucking ooze, and then you're officially in the end game, and you're like, fuck, there was other shit that I needed to do. There was other money I needed to make so I could buy more shit, so I could own more property, that type of shit. So that just kind of fucking sucked.
yeah, it sucked because I've been missing Fable 2 and Fable 3 is on PC, but Fable 2 is not.
Fable Anniversary is on PC. I owned Fable 1, but every single time I owned it twice because I owned it initially and then I traded it in because I didn't get very far and I wasn't playing it. And this is back when I still traded in game. So then I bought Fable Anniversary when I was struggling and I lost my internet. So I was like, well, I'll just get Fable. I'll play some Fable. And then like something came through for me. I got my internet back and then I never fucking played it.
Right.
So yeah, I own it, but I never really got too far into it because I had other shit to deal with. So yeah. All right. So you done with what you played?
Yep.
Okay. So when we're talking about control schemes, I tried to play some more Saints Row 2 on PC.
Uh-huh.
Now here's the problem. I did do the mod where they actually bring up Xbox prompts for the stuff, which was great because like even when you first play it on PC, even though you're playing with a controller, it still has keyboard prompts and you're just like, well, what button is that? So you're just pressing random buttons trying to make shit work. But the difference between Fable on Xbox and Fable on PC is on Xbox, I play my control scheme, I change depending on if I'm driving or if I'm a passenger. Because in the PC doesn't have that where you can just switch the control scheme real fast. Because what I do is if I'm driving, then I use the triggers to drive. But if I'm a passenger, I use the triggers to shoot. And I would just, if I'm on Xbox, I just pause the game, switch the control scheme real fast. As soon as I get out the car, pause it, switch the control scheme back, and I'm cool. Mm-hmm. But I can't do that on PC. And it's a complete pain in the ass because now I have to, the way it's set up, your shooting controls is always the triggers. So now I have to figure out, I have to get my mind around driving with the A and X buttons.
Yuck.
Right, you know what I mean? Like that's it. And then like when I try to change the buttons, they don't have the control schemes mapped out already. So I would have to go in and change all of the buttons. And one time I went in and tried to change the driving controls, and I obviously didn't do something right because when I pressed the right trigger to accelerate, I was driving and shooting at the same time, wasting all of my fucking bullets. And he was just driving down the street shooting at fucking everything that was in front of him. So I went back and I reset that to default, and now I have to try to drive with the A and X buttons. And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck this. I need to find my damn 360. So, one of my 360s. So, and then I need to go to GameStop and buy and buy two because it's not backwards compatible. If it was backwards compatible, I would just buy a copy, digitally and just be done with it. But no, I can't do that because only 3 and 4 and Get Out of Hell are back compat, which fucking sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So I played that. I played I played a ton of RimWorld. Now I can tell you my RimWorld, how many hours I put in. You know how many hours I put in RimWorld?
Is it over 100?
It's almost 200. It's 190.
Oh my god, dude!
I've put 190 hours into RimWorld so far.
That's more hours than I've put in Persona.
I would every year. I would basically put 200 plus hours into NCAA football. And so that's not unusual for me. It's just like I haven't had RimWorld that long. You know what I mean? Like I haven't had it for a year, but yeah, I put that kind of time. Like there's times where I'm sitting here just playing and I completely forget what time it is. I look at the clock and it's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh shit, I better go to bed. Not that I really have much to do, but when I do have things to do, like I have to consciously say, okay, I'm not playing RimWorld tonight because I got to be up to, like for my job interview, I went to bed and because I'm so used to staying up all night, I was laying in the bed at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I have no idea what time I actually went to sleep because I was just laying there listening to my girlfriend snore. She's a snorer, brother. So I have no idea what time I actually went to sleep at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm playing a ton of RimWorld. I started a new colony and I added some more mods. So I'm playing that place. I'm playing that. I think it's time for me to start branching out and doing different things like playing in more of a desert map or playing in more of a colder map because what I'm doing is most of the time I play in like the in between, which is called the temperate forest. I've been using temperate forest maps since I pretty much had the game, and I think I'm getting a little bit too good at it right now. So and then like what my trades and stuff like that. Like I specifically created a new profile. I mean I created a new game type, and this game type is perfectly suited to the way that I play. And I got like a ton of money that I could just spend. I could just, when trade ships and stuff come around, I could just do whatever I want to, buy whatever I want to. And I still got like crazy amounts of money. I have a ton of characters. I have like 20 characters. Now, normally you start off with 3 and you kind of get people over time. Or like you capture people that you down when you get raided and such. And you can get them to join you depending on, where they came from and, just put some time in and keep them captured and stuff. But I have like 20 people right now and it's getting to the point to where now I'm running out of food. I have too many people to feed. But like every time a trade ship comes in, I just buy all of their fucking food. And like I'm right back to where I started. Like everything's fine. I've lost one person since I started this. I don't know how many hours I put into this playthrough, but I've only lost one person. And I keep putting them in harm's way, but I'm so good at the game at this point, they're not actually dying.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So, what else? Have I played anything else? I really would like to play some more Killing Floor. I was looking up Killing Floor videos. And there are people who are doing like these videos more PC centric, but they're like talking about the skills of each character and all of this kind of stuff and how do you tailor your perks to be able to work very well, whether you're in a team or whether you're solo. Now, here's the thing that I did not know.
Okay.
Did you know that in the middle of rounds, you can actually pause the game and like, your perk abilities, you can actually change those on the fly?
I didn't know that, but like, wouldn't that make you, like between rounds and stuff? Because
I don't know if it's, you can't, I'm pretty sure you can do it at any time, but as I understand, like during the round, I don't think you have enough time to do that.
Right.
But I don't know if it's an anytime thing or a between rounds thing. But you can, but I don't know whether it's just a PC thing or if it's on the console too. They're pretty similar to each other. But between rounds, you can change your perk skills around, which I thought was cool because I was watching a SWAT video, and what they do is like the first round, they have it set up to where it's like this one you need more ammo, but like after the first round where you can actually buy stuff, it's like, okay, now you switch to more armor, like that type of stuff. Like I found all of that very interesting, and like shit, that was something I didn't know. Oh, here's another thing that I did not know. If you change your weapon to like your melee weapon, your knife or whatever like that, because you can actually just equip just your knife. Did you know that when a flesh pound or a chainsaw attacks you, you can partially repel that if you swing with your knife at the same time?
Huh.
See, this is shit I didn't fucking know. Like, I had no idea you could do this shit.
So you can like parry the freaking chainsaw.
Yes. But mostly I see them use it on the flesh pound when the flesh pound gets angry and it charges at you, and it does that kind of like a lunge and kind of ground pounds a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, you can parry that shit if you have your melee weapon equipped.
Yeah, because my main thing was like trying to figure out what characters do we need that we can't go without.
Right, and we pretty much narrowed most of that down. But it's like all kinds of stuff that I'm learning from watching these videos, and I find it very interesting. And I may be interested in trying different characters at this point because I'm watching videos and I'm actually learning more about the game, and I find that to be absolutely fascinating.
Right.
So yeah, that, and then okay, so. Don't tell anybody else this. Tell
other than the listeners.
No. Don't even tell the listeners. Within the next week, I am going to start the game that makes us all have to drink. I'm not saying I'm going to play it for long, but I am going to start that game. May even be tomorrow that I will start the game that makes us have to drink.
Okay.
One of the games. Well, the other game I've already finished, and I will never play that nonsense ever again. But the other one, the RPG, there's a shooter and there's an RPG. Mm-hmm. I've played the shooter. I will never play that crap ever again. But the RPG, I may start soon.
Cool.
And then I kind of want to play some stuff because I watched a lot. So let's get into what we're watching.
Okay.
You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
Oh, you go first because I haven't watched anything.
Okay, so I'm caught up on all my DC shows. Really, really interested to see where Black Lightning actually goes, where it ends up. Because there's some things that I love about it. There are some things that are kind of, and then there's some things that I feel like they're stretching out way too damn long. So I'm really interested to see where it goes. I hate being caught up on a show and not watching it on like Netflix and shit, because then I gotta wait every week. And for that, I gotta use the CW app, which has a lot of fucking commercials, which surprisingly, the commercials there's 3 separate commercials that have Kendrick Lamar songs in them, which I find that would be very interesting. Mm-hmm. It's the Black Lightning one has a Kendrick Lamar song. Of course the Black Panther, because Kendrick Lamar, well, that he's basically doing the soundtrack for Black Panther. And then there's a HomePod. I guess Apple is coming out with their own little like speaker thing, like Alexa type thing.
Yeah.
And there's 2 commercials that I've seen, and one of them, the one that they show the most, is the Kendrick Lamar one.
Huh.
Yeah, and most of the shit I wouldn't even know because I don't really watch TV, so these commercials are like, it's the same commercials over and over again. But I don't really watch commercials because I watch a lot of YouTube and I have YouTube Red. So that, and so, but like that's really good. The Flash is really stinking good, and that also brings me to I'm watching The Flash over with my girlfriend. Like we just basically skipped Arrow, which if you're watching them in order, you should probably watch season 1 and 2 of Arrow first before you start the Flash. But we are like on like episode 16 of the Flash at this point, and it's really good to be watching it with someone who knows nothing about any of this stuff, like, you know, who these characters are in the, you know, their comic book counterparts, and like knowing where some of the characters end up, like, you know, like Caitlin Snow, like knowing who she is in the comic books is really interesting, because you get to watch how she actually gets there, like that type of stuff. But it also really sucks knowing all of the answers, because they come up with a mystery for you to solve, and you're like, and then, you know, and then like my girl will ask a question and I go, do you really want the answer? And she's like, no, don't tell me, like that type of thing, because I know all of the answers, which is kind of cool, because another thing is, like, when you're watching shows again, like you see all of the hints that they dropped. That, you know, that stuff that you didn't catch the first time. I think that's kind of cool. And then I don't know if I talked about it here. I know I talked about it on Facetious. I finished Black Mirror.
Oh yeah.
I finished season 4 of Black Mirror, and it's really interesting. But the endings have been too happy this season. Like a lot of Black Mirror is like really fucked up, like in how it ends is kind of fucked up in most cases. But like the endings have been way too happy this season. Like, there's a character, there's situations where like the seemingly good character triumphs over the seemingly evil character, and that's not how it's really gone very much throughout the whole rest of it, you know?
Right.
So that would be my only complaint about it, except for Metalhead. The episode called Metalhead is possibly one of the worst episodes of Black Mirror, period. Period. I mean, it's at the very least, it's bottom 3. Like, if I was ranking them all, it's bottom 3. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just supremely uninteresting. So, and then I have started and I have finished with my insomnia. I have, in the last basically 2.5 days, I started and finished Altered Carbon.
Oh, nice.
Yo, do that shit. Now, here's the thing. It's not for the kiddos, because there's a little bit of violence, but there's a pretty decent amount of nudity. Like,
yeah, that's what I heard. I heard it's like, it kind of like that kind of Shadowrunny.
Yeah, it's very kind of Blade Runner-y. It has a lot of Black Mirror type stuff in it, and it has more of a Blade Runner aesthetic, but it has a lot of it has a lot of stuff that you would have probably seen in an episode of Black Mirror. You know, like the whole premise of the show is like there's some sort of like this disc thing that's put in your spine, in the back of your neck, and it has your whole consciousness in it, and when your body dies, that can be moved to another body. Some of the bodies are basically like clones or grown, and the other is like criminals. Like, when you go into the prison system, like, you may not receive your body back unless someone is paying mortgage on your body for when you get out.
Oh, that's messed up.
Yeah, so there's the main character is a guy, and he's special in some sort of way, and I'm not going to go too deep into it because I really want you to watch it. But he is woken up after 250 years, and he is asked to solve a murder. Yeah, and it's really cool. And then the last few episodes is a huge twist, and it changes the whole show. But there is a huge twist, and it's really good. Like, I'm really looking forward to the next season. And last thing. The last episode that I just watched of The Flash has the guy who plays the character Weather Wizard. Weather Wizard is played by the guy who replaced Spartacus, because like the original guy in the Spartacus TV show died.
Mm-hmm.
You sound sleepy. So this is the guy who took over for him, and he also does the voice of JD in Gears of War 4. Because when he started talking, I was like, "Who the fuck is that?" I've just heard him. So I watched that Weather Wizard episode like earlier today. I played Gears of War like an hour before the show started, and I was like, something. I just like I know that guy, and then I looked it up, and it's the fucking Weather Wizard Spartacus dude.
Right.
And like most of the fans of Spartacus, like when he first took over, we hated his face. Like we didn't like him because he wasn't the original Spartacus, but he kind of grew on me after some time. I think that's everything. I got. And you sound like you're sleepy. So you want me to wrap this up?
Yeah, we can. Because I haven't really watched too much. I mean, there was one thing I kind of glanced at, but I would rather actually sit down and watch it, and I could like talk about it a little bit more because it seemed pretty interesting. But I don't want to block it or anything.
No, I do want to watch the Cloverfield movie. I had a lot of people tell me that they're glad it was on Netflix because it wasn't worth going to the movie theater to see it.
I haven't seen the second one.
It's on Amazon.
Cool. Yeah, I still have my Prime.
Yeah, it's on as I understand it, the first and the second one. That was a lot of people's complaints that the other two movies are not on Netflix. Like Netflix bought the right to the third movie, but they don't have the first and the second. As far as I know, they're on Amazon.
Right. Yeah, I saw the first one like ages ago, but the one with what's his name?
The dude from
Roseanne.
Roseanne? Are we talking about the same guy? The guy that was in Deadpool?
No, the guy that was in Roseanne. He was in he was in The Big Lebowski.
I don't remember much of The Big Lebowski. That's like some white people shit. Like I don't know. Like you got me on that one.
He was in Old Brother, Where Art Thou?
I remember that movie, but I don't remember much about it. Like I don't know who you're talking about. I thought I recognize.
His name is John. What is it? John Goodman.
Oh, John Goodman. Oh, yeah. Okay, now I'm putting all that together. Yeah, I was talking about T.J. Miller because he was the guy. John Goodman is in the second one.
That's the one.
I thought we were talking about the first.
No, the first one I had seen like ages ago, but I hadn't seen. I was talking about how I hadn't seen the second one.
Well, in the first one, the guy in Deadpool, the guy that runs the bar.
Mm-hmm.
He is the guy, you don't see him much, and he's a lot larger. Like it was before he lost some weight. But he is the guy behind the camera in the first movie. That's him.
Right, because he was like one of my favorite characters in that movie because he was just so hilarious, like his reactions and stuff.
Yeah, and so he is the guy behind the camera.
Mm-hmm.
In the first Cloverfield movie. I think that's kind of cool. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I do want to watch the third one. I'm probably going to watch that sometime soon. I'll probably watch it by the time the next show, but I don't know if I'm going to watch it by the time Facetious starts. So there's that.
Well, speaking of Facetious, we need to like kind of let the people know, and you'll probably let them know on Facetious that we're going to try to do a game nights after Facetious, kind of like a Facetious after party type deal.
Yes, the current plan, don't know how well this is going to work out, but the current plan is for us to schedule game nights for Mondays. Do we want to do 9 to push it closer to Facetious, or do we want to do it at 10?
Well, 9 is kind of like how we've been having it, so let's...
No, 9 is kind of how you've been having it. I do not show up until 10. But we could do 9. I will do Facetious.
Okay, let's do this. We'll have a what you call it, a compromise. We'll do 9:30.
No, I think we should do 9.
Okay.
We should do 9 at least for the first couple of times, and if we need to adjust the time, we can.
Okay.
So all future game nights are going to be Mondays, and it will be announced on Facetious, and we will carry into the game nights. Now, are we going to stay with Killing Floor for the game night, or are we going to try to branch out now that you have a Xbox? That's a good question. You know what? We are going to put it in the poll on the Facebook group.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes, and Chase is going to do it.
Sounds like a plan.
We'll figure it all out. But for next Monday after Facetious, Monday the 12th, we are playing Killing Floor on PlayStation, and then we'll branch out from there.
Monday the 12th, we could do it like a couple's night.
What are you talking about?
Because it's a little bit, it's like a couple of days before Valentine's Day.
We don't do Valentine's Day around here. We don't do Valentine's Day around here at all. I've always hated Valentine's Day. I would only do it for my girl because, of course, she would care. But now we're to the point to where it's like something happened before Valentine's Day, and it makes Valentine's Day not a good thing for us anymore. So So Valentine's Day don't work for you, boy. And Valentine's Day is on Wednesday. Like, who really wants to do anything on a fucking Wednesday?
Right.
Knowing that most people got to go to fucking work the next day.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up because you sound like you're sleepy.
It's Scarcasm After Dark.
Yeah, well, we did get started later, so thank y'all for checking out Scarcasm After Dark. Yeah. No, I'm just, but thank y'all for checking us out. We appreciate everybody. We're gonna, if you have anything to say about the any of the ideas that we talked about, show ideas, game night ideas, guest ideas. If you want to be on the show, holler at your boy. We'll try to see if we can make that happen. So if you have any of that, you can hit us up in the various places. Like all of our deets are in the show notes. You can in the Facebook group is also a good place to put something out to the Scarcasm conglomerate, with the exception of Mike J, who doesn't use that and just sends me messages privately through Google Messenger. Shout out to Mike J. So yeah, thank y'all for checking out Scarcasm. For the homie Chase, I'm Scarfinger. This is Scarcasm. We out of here. Peace out to
Two shout outs.
I thought we were to that point. You started talking about the Scarcasm After Dark thing. I mean, well, first of all, we say peace out to the Warriors every show, right? Because it's an ode to the littlest warrior, Mason.
Right.
And I know that this is a hard time because this is around that time that all of that stuff happened. So I know. So shout out to the homie Meef and his family because this stuff never is. It never feels good. And I know that him and his family are still going through it. And just shout out to Meef and the family. Hold your head. Like I understand this stuff doesn't get better. It gets a little bit easier over time, but it's still too fresh for it to feel like it's getting any better. So just hold your head, and for those of us that pray for them. If you just send good thoughts, spirit fingers, whatever you do, put one up out there for the homie Meef and his family.
Yeah, man. Meef's awesome.
Yeah, that's my dude. He's my spirit animal. Go ahead and do your shout outs and then we roll.
Yeah, I was just gonna shout out Timo and Jay O'Malley from OFR because they wished me happy birthday on the podcast. So yeah, I'll give them a little, shout out. Thank you for the birthday wishes on live on air.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that, but you sound like you're sleepy. Do you really want to talk about your birthday?
I mean, sure. Because the main thing is, I got the Xbox and I got that like a few days before my birthday, which is funny because I didn't really talk about it that much last time because, Fred was on and I was more making it about, our guest. And you
just got it, so you hadn't really done anything with it yet.
Yeah, it like came in the door as I was getting Fred on the podcast. Right. So yeah, got my Xbox and on my birthday, on the weekend, we went out to a Mexican restaurant, and I didn't know that they were going to do this, but they like put like a pie in my face,
What?
like it was like icing or something, or like Cool Whip, and I mean they had the like little. One time they gave me like some fried ice cream that was at another Mexican restaurant, but this time they gave me like it was like a tortilla, but it was fried and it had like drizzles of chocolate, and I guess it's not like caramel, it's like it's a caramel like flavor that they have, but I don't know, but it was pretty good. It more had kind of like a funnel cake, like fried dough like flavor, but yeah, when they gave that, they put like a sombrero on my head, and then they started singing, and then they put the like icing in my face. Like I didn't know what she was trying to do. Like she was like leaning. I thought she was going to do something to the cake or something, and then like it totally was just went in my face, and I was just like looking at everybody like, what is going on? So yeah, that happened. And on my birthday, my actual birthday was just kind of like another day. I just kind of played a little bit of Fallout and, went to work.
All right. So anything else?
That's about it, man.
Okay. So again, I'm Chase. I'm Scarfinger. This is Scarcasm. And we're out of here. Peace out to the movies.
Later.
I like that shit, yeah, boy. Yeah, I'm telling you, Whoa. All right, I ain't gonna talk.
Well, first of all, my voice meter wasn't working, and I left to go get some batteries to my vape. And as soon as I pressed the button, I was like, "Hey, battery!"
Oh,
I should have waited and said something before I left, and I was like, "Fuck it."
my batteries are all about dead as fuck. And Amber started using her mod again, so it's not. I can't like just switch out batteries now. I only have 2 sets. I need to get some more.
I have 2 sets, and I had 3 sets, but then I gave my other mod for my friend to fix, and I gave him 2 batteries so that he can test it. But I never got that back.
Because I started using my old cuboid with a tank and now I use my RDA with the old Sigeli, and she's using the red one again. So
why'd you go back to a tank? I thought that wasn't your jam.
Well, I went to the tank for the cuboid. For some reason, it doesn't want to act right with that's why I wasn't really using it, because when I would use it with the RDA, it would like say add a minor short. No matter what RDA would put, it would say that, but it wouldn't say that with tanks. And but the little red K-box, the Kinger Tech, that one worked fine with the RDA, and the Sigeli worked fine with the RDA. So
where do you get batteries?
I haven't bought batteries in like a few years, but I got them at the vape shop.
I'm trying to see if I can find. I'm trying to see if I can find the batteries. I got them from Spent. It's like $20. And it came in a little case.
Are they like the name like Samsung or?
No, but I've had these. I gotta find them.
Yeah, I got to where I don't really trust like Best Fires and stuff like that. I had some Best Fires, and they best freaking vented on me, and I was like, "Fuck that shit." I've only like used Samsungs and shit.
That's the link to the battery that I'm using.
Let's see. Hold on. I think I got it here. Click that. I don't see it.
Hold on. Let me go.
It just showed like Amazon stuff and didn't show any product.
I click the link. See, it's just pulling up Amazon.
Right.
These, they're called ODEC, ODEC.
Yeah.
And it comes, like I said, it's $20. You get 4, and it comes with a little plastic case to put them in. And that's what I've been using ever since I bought them in May 2017.
When I get some more juice, I'm thinking about getting blueberry muffin and confetti cake.
Bruh, I told you that confetti cake is a fire, ain't it?
Yeah, I like it.
View event. Like, did I click on something? Oh, Killing Floor must be having actual thing because I followed the Killer account on Steam and the shit just popped up right into a community event. And this,
Yeah, the Sigelli it's still reliable as fuck. Like that used to be the hotness, and nobody like fucking gives a shit about Sigelli no more. But the only thing I don't like about it, which isn't like its fault, it's just other things started doing things, just little small things better, is the fact that like say the batteries get a little low, right?
Mm-hmm.
The and it can't really hit at 60 watts or whatever. It's going to say check battery, and then you have to turn it down. But like say the cuboid or the K box, if the batteries get low, it's going to automatically just fire at 40.
Yes, mine will do that. I was firing mine. I didn't have my batteries on me. So I mean, I didn't have charged batteries on me. So I just kept trying to vape it anyway. And when I put the thing in, it was like 14. Mine will just keep lowering itself. It will keep lowering itself until I don't know what this shit called. It's a fungi or whatever it's called. You know what? I bought it because the other one broke, but this thing has kind of held me down, and I'm really surprised.
Yeah, so I think most of them are doing that these days. It's just the Sigelli is kind of like a thing of its time. Like vape mods have advanced so much in like a couple of years. Like say the Sigelli is like the bomb freaking Discman, and everybody else are freaking got iPods now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, the Sigelli is a mini disc.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll start the show in a second. I might as well keep all of this. Welcome to your vape corner. It's Sarcasm Vape Corner. Now you got a whole bunch of stuff recently. You got some new stuff, and you said you really like the confetti cake.
Yeah, I like the confetti cake. I think we like. I don't know. It's really hard toss up between the blueberry muffin and the blueberry cream. It's really depending on what mood you're in. But I like them both. But I'm thinking I'm going more towards blueberry muffin. The
I'm puffing on I'm puffing on their we're talking about Dollar E Juice Club.
Yep.
I am puffing on their strawberry donuts right.
Oh, that's the other thing. It wasn't donuts, it was strawberry cheesecake. I was thinking about doing that one as a big one. That one was really good. And I've had cheesecakes before that were not good, but their cheesecake is pretty good.
Yeah, I have not seen they added some stuff since I've been here last. I am really interested in the pineapple candy.
Yeah, I saw that. And the cool thing about them is just like I want to try that out. You get your 120 or whatever your mainstay is, and just throw in some freaking whatever, 99 cents. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. What I was doing at first is I ordered a bunch of samples, and then I think I got a 60 of rainbow candy, which is basically Skittles.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a whole bunch of things to try out. So that kind of worked out for me. And then then I started branching out and I started trying different things. And so like the cool thing about the dollar stuff is, first of all, like it's a $1. It's like 5 milliliters, but it's enough to fill my tank at least twice. So I really get a good idea of how it all is going to taste in the long run, because I can run through 2 tanks of it, which is cool. But I know I need to place an order, but I don't know how I really want to do it. I think I might order just maybe a few 60s, because there's so many different ones that I like. But one of the ones that I really like is the confetti cake, because the cool thing about the confetti cake, and I said this to you before privately, but the cool thing about the confetti cake is you can actually taste the cake, you can taste the frosting, and you can taste the sprinkles. Like it's
that's what I said about.
For some reason, you can taste those things individually in the vape, and that is fucking amazing to me.
Right. Yeah, that's what I said about Artifact, because Artifact is not cheap, but their apple fritter, you could taste like the dough and like the cinnamon and like each thing that would make an apple fritter. It's not like he just, oh, here's an apple fritter flavor that I got from flavor company. No, he would make his own flavors, but he would make the recipe of what would make an apple fritter, and it's some of the best flavors I've ever had in my life. But they're just really pricey. But
so, yeah, yeah, that's cool. I need to order some juice, so I will be ordering some really soon. I miss my my lemonade flavors. They have a peach lemonade that's really good, and the strawberry lemonade is cool. It's not the best, but it's pretty cool. But their peach lemonade is fucking.
Y'all know. So you like kind of sour type things?
No,
Like
I usually stick more to I usually stick more to fruits.
I mean, like in real life, like with foods, do you like sour candies and things like that?
Occasionally, but
Okay.
but I, for some reason, I do not like their sour belts. I do not like them with the thing that makes the actual licorice part of the candy, whatever that flavor is, does not jive with me at all through Dollar Juice. I don't know what it is, just like whatever that is, I don't dig it.
Right. I didn't really get that problem with the raspberry one. So maybe there's the other ones. Did you try the raspberry one?
I tried.
It's like a raspberry.
I tried the raspberry, and I think I tried the blue. I tried the blue ras, and I think I tried the strawberry.
Oh, okay.
Those are the two that I liked. Those are the two that I tried. I thought the raspberry was okay, but it wasn't enough for me to care about it as much as some of the other things.
Right. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so I'm really gonna, I really needed to place an order. I really need to go to order some Thug Juice, but I figured I'd start here because you get more for the money because,
right,
with Dollar E Juice, and like I said, that shit is actually pretty fucking cool. Like how much stuff you get. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because it's not crap. Because you could get some. Like you go to the vape shop and you're like, "What's your cheapest juice?" And then it's not going to be good juice. You know what I mean?
You know what? If I go to a vape shop and I get their cheapest juice, you know what I always get, and it's always not that bad. Whatever their candy that's like a Skittles or a Jolly Rancher, that stuff isn't that bad. so if I get the cheapest stuff, then I'll go there. But I really need some Thug Juice and I might actually get some Hug Juice also. It's the same thing as Thug Juice without the menthol, but yeah, my favorite juices for the most part are all fruit flavored, and then menthol with fruit flavors. Those are if I list all of my favorites, then most of those would be fruit flavors or fruit flavors with menthol.
Yeah, and people that like menthol, like Dollar E Juice, they have a lot of menthol variants of some of their normal, say the bluegrass sour belt, they'll have a menthol version of that or whatnot.
It ain't that detailed, but they do have some menthol. I don't like the menthol from Dollar E Juice as much as I like the menthol that would be in some hawk sauce or some Thug Juice.
What's the other super cheap juice that you were talking about?
I order from 4 places really, three more than the last one. I like Dollar E Juice, Mount Baker Vapor. Those are my top 2. If I have a little bit of money, then I will order something from Broke Dick. The problem with Broke Dick is, the name, and 2, the problem with Broke Dick is they don't have a whole lot of choices.
Yeah.
So they don't, they will come up with something, but like when they come up with something new, they'll try it in a smaller bottle, which is cool, but you don't feel like you're getting as much out of it as See, like they start at 120s, and their normal flavors are 120 buy one get one. Is It's $23 for their 120s, but you buy one get one for their normal flavors. Then they will come out with a special edition 60, but their 60 is like $15, and I'm like, well, that doesn't work as well for me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I wish they had more flavors. And here's what I want. Here's what I want Dollar E Juice to do though. Ooh, I lost you. He answered the damn phone. You see what? Did you answer the phone?
Hold on a second. I don't know what happened, but I guess my face hit the phone in a way that made me dial my voicemail.
Okay.
Because all of a sudden, please enter your password. And I was like, whatever, lady.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get in the show. What I was saying, I can do some creative. So what I was saying was, what I want Dollar E Juice to do, I would like Dollar E Juice to take the idea of the strawberry donut and kind of make like a peach cobbler, because peach cobbler is the I know. I was talking about Broke Dick, and then I never talked about the last one, which was what's the one? It's out of Florida. What's it called? Shit.
Mount Baker?
No, Mount Baker is West Coast. Get Wrecked, and Get Wrecked has some of the same type of things as Mount Baker. The only cool thing, the difference between Get Wrecked and Mount Baker is if you order like 2 or 3 bottles, Mount Baker will throw in something extra just because. Like, you know, sometimes it's really cool. Sometimes it's probably some shit they're trying to get rid of. Like, I have like 3 bottles of fucking I can't think of what it's called, but it's basically Crunch Berries, and I don't really like it. But they say
Crunch Berries with cereal. I mean, is it Crunch Berries with milk?
I guess, I don't know. Like, I tried it. I don't really dig it. I said at one point I was gonna try to send it to you, and then I haven't gotten around to that yet.
Word. Yeah. Yeah. Because sometimes they'll do cereals, but you know, if they do a cereal that's just dry Fruit Loops, it will have a different flavor profile than something has like a milky, like creamy flavor to it. It almost tastes completely different, you know.
Right. Yeah. Now I'm looking into it to see if it's actually like what we're talking about. Now, I know none of this has anything to do with the fucking show. I might stick this at the end, which it'll probably make more sense when we actually start the show. But you know, we're vapors. So all right,
instead of tap the craft, we're take the vape.
I guess. Okay, so
because we're like talking about like vape profiles, and you know, we're like, well, this vapor, you I don't know, the body is, you know, like freaking,
yeah,
you know, give Denny a hard time, but you know, they got a good, they're doing very well over there.
It does. This does not say that there's milk in it.
Okay.
The where it's describing it, it does not say that there's milk in it.
Word.
So if and when I send this to you, your mileage may vary, but it does not say that there's milk in this. It's just cereal.
Cool.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop this, and then we'll start it up again and actually start the show.
Cool.